Welcome to U.S. Citizenship Test practice. Join our WhatsApp group. The link is given in description. Let's begin. Question 1. Officer. What is the supreme law of the land? Applicant. The Constitution. Question 2. Officer. Who signs bills into law? Applicant. The President. Question 3. Officer. How many U.S. senators are there? Applicant. 100. Question 4. Officer. Why does the American flag have 50 stars? Applicant. Because there are 50 states. Question 5. Officer. What is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? Applicant. Serve on a jury. Question 6. Officer. What is the capital of the United States? Applicant. Washington, D.C. Question 7. Officer. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Applicant. Thomas Jefferson. Question 8. Officer. What are the two parts of the United States Congress? Applicant. The Senate and the House of Representatives. Question 9. Officer. What does the judicial branch do? Applicant. Reviews laws. Question 10. Officer. Who was the first President of the United States? Applicant. George Washington. Question 11. Officer. What is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? Applicant. Obey the laws of the United States. Question 12. Officer. How many years is a term for a United States Senator? Applicant. 6 years. Question 13. Officer. What is one right protected by the First Amendment? Applicant. Freedom of speech. Question 14. Officer. Who is the Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. military? Applicant. The President. Question 15. Officer. What does the Constitution do? Applicant. It forms the government. Question 16. Officer. What is the rule of law? Applicant. Everyone must follow the law. Question 17. Officer. Name one branch of the United States government. Applicant. The legislative branch. Question 18. Officer. How can people become United States citizens? Applicant. By naturalization. Question 19. Officer. What is one power of the federal government? Applicant. To print money. Question 20. Officer. Why do we celebrate Independence Day? Applicant. It celebrates the nation's independence. Question 21. Officer. What is the highest court in the United States? Applicant. The Supreme Court. Question 22. Officer. Why do we pay federal taxes? Applicant. Because it is required by law. Question 23. Officer. How many voting members are in the House of Representatives? Applicant. 435. Question 24. Officer. What does the Bill of Rights protect? Applicant. The basic rights of Americans. Question 25. Officer. Who elects members of the House of Representatives? Applicant. Citizens from their congressional district. Question 26. Officer. How many amendments does the United States Constitution have? Applicant. 27. Question 27. Officer. What is the economic system of the United States? Applicant. Capitalism. Question 28. Officer. What war did the Americans fight to gain independence from Great Britain? Applicant. The American Revolution. Question 29. Officer. Name one of the original 13 states. Applicant. Virginia. Question 30. Officer. What does the President's Cabinet do? Applicant. It advises the President. Question 31. Officer. Who approves federal judges? Applicant. The Senate. Question 32. Officer. What is one power of the President? Applicant. Sign bills into law. Question 33. Officer. Who can vote in federal elections? Applicant. United States citizens. Question 34. Officer. What is one responsibility of United States citizens? Applicant. Vote in a federal election. Question 35. Officer. Why are there 13 stripes on the American flag? Applicant. Because there were 13 original colonies. Question 36. Officer, what is one freedom guaranteed by the First Amendment? Applicant. Freedom of religion. Question 37. Officer. What is the name of the national anthem? Applicant. The Star-Spangled Banner. Question 38. Officer. Who vetoes bills passed by Congress? Applicant. The President. Question 39. Officer. What are the two major political parties in the United States? Applicant. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Question 40. Officer. What is Independence Day? Applicant. The birthday of the United States. Question 41. Officer. Who lived in America before Europeans arrived? Applicant. Native Americans. Question 42. Officer. What did the Declaration of Independence do? Applicant. It announced that the American colonies were free from Great Britain. Question 43. Officer. What are two rights of everyone living in the United States? Applicant. Freedom of speech and freedom of religion. Question 44. Officer. What is one reason colonists came to America? Applicant. Freedom. Question 45. Officer. What is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? Applicant. He was a United States diplomat. Question 46. Officer. Who was president during the Civil War? Applicant. Abraham Lincoln. Question 47. Officer, what did Abraham Lincoln do? Applicant. He freed the slaves. Question 48. Officer. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. Applicant. World War II. Question 49. Officer. What movement tried to end racial discrimination? Applicant. The Civil Rights Movement. Question 50. Officer. Who is known for fighting for civil rights using nonviolent protest? Applicant: Martin Luther King Jr. Question 51. Officer: what is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? Applicant: vote in a federal election. Question 52. Officer: what is the capital of the United States? Applicant: Washington, D.C. Question 53. Officer: what are the two parts of the U.S. Congress? Applicant: the Senate and the House of Representatives. Question 54. Officer: who becomes president if the president can no longer serve? Applicant: the vice president. Question 55. Officer: how long is a term for a member of the House of Representatives? Applicant: 2 years. Question 56. Officer: what is one reason to register for the Selective Service? Applicant: it is required by law. Question 57. Officer: what document announced that the American colonies were free from Great Britain? Applicant: the Declaration of Independence. Question 58. Officer: who was the main writer of the Declaration of Independence? Applicant: Thomas Jefferson. Question 59. Officer: why is the Electoral College important? Applicant: it decides who is elected president. Question 60. Officer: how many Supreme Court justices are there? Applicant: 9. Question 61. Officer: what is one promise you make in the oath of allegiance? Applicant: be loyal to the United States. Question 62. Officer: what is one example of an American innovation? Applicant: the light bulb. Question 63. Officer: why does each state have 2 U.S. senators? Applicant: to provide equal representation for each state. Question 64. Officer: what does the executive branch do? Applicant: enforces the laws. Question 65. Officer: what is one part of the executive branch? Applicant: the President. Question 66. Officer: what is one part of the judicial branch? Applicant: the Supreme Court. Question 67. Officer: what is one power of Congress? Applicant: makes federal laws. Question 68. Officer: name one U.S. military conflict after the September 11, 2001 attacks. Applicant: the war in Afghanistan. Question 69. Officer: what happened on September 11, 2001? Applicant: terrorists attacked the United States. Question 70. Officer: why did the United States enter World War II? Applicant: to support the Allied powers. Question 71. Officer: what war was fought between the North and the South? Applicant: the Civil War. Question 72. Officer: what did the Emancipation Proclamation do? Applicant: it freed the slaves. Question 73. Officer: who was president during the Great Depression and World War II? Applicant: Franklin D. Roosevelt. Question 74. Officer, what is Memorial Day? Applicant, a holiday to honor military members who died in service to the United States. Question 75. Officer, what is Veterans Day? Applicant, a holiday to honor people who served in the United States military. Question 76. Officer, what is one important idea from the Declaration of Independence? Applicant, equality. Question 77. Officer, what are the first three words of the Constitution? Applicant, we the people. Question 78. Officer, what does we the people mean? Applicant, self-government. Question 79. Officer, what is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? Applicant, freedom of the press. Question 80. Officer, who elects U.S. senators? Applicant, citizens of their state. Question 81. Officer, what is one responsibility of the President? Applicant, enforce the laws. Question 82. Officer, how many years is a presidential term? Applicant, 4 years. Question 83. Officer, what is the supreme law of the land? Applicant, the Constitution. Question 84. Officer, why is the Constitution important? Applicant, it establishes the government and protects the rights of the people. Question 85. Officer, who was the first President of the United States? Applicant, George Washington. Question 86. Officer, what is one thing George Washington is famous for? Applicant, he is the father of our country. Question 87. Officer, who is in charge of the executive branch? Applicant, the President. Question 88. Officer, what are the three branches of the United States government? Applicant, the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. Question 89. Officer, what is one responsibility that belongs only to United States citizens? Applicant, run for federal office. Question 90. Officer, what is one right only for United States citizens? Applicant, vote in a federal election. Question 91. Officer, what does the rule of law mean? Applicant, everyone must obey the law. Question 92. Officer, what does the Constitution protect? Applicant, the rights and freedoms of the people. Question 93. Officer, who signs treaties with other countries? Applicant, the President. Question 94. Officer, who confirms the President's appointments? Applicant, the Senate. Question 95. Officer, what is one duty of the United States Congress? Applicant, pass federal laws. Question 96. Officer, what are two rights of everyone living in the United States? Applicant, freedom of speech and freedom of assembly. Question 97. Officer, what is one reason people immigrate to the United States? Applicant, to have more freedom. Question 98. Officer, what is one promise made in the oath of allegiance? Applicant. Defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States. Question 99. Officer. What do we celebrate on Independence Day? Applicant. The adoption of the Declaration of Independence. Question 100. Officer. What is one national holiday in the United States? Applicant. Thanksgiving Day. Question 101. Officer, what does Congress do? Applicant. Makes federal laws. Question 102. Officer. What does the President do before becoming President? Applicant. Takes the oath of office. Question 103. Officer. What is one responsibility of every citizen? Applicant. Obey the law. Question 104. Officer. Why do citizens serve on juries? Applicant. To help ensure justice is carried out fairly. Question 105. Officer. What is one responsibility of everyone living in the United States? Applicant. Follow the law. Question 106. Officer. Why do Americans vote? Applicant. To choose their leaders. Question 107. Officer. What is one important freedom protected by the Constitution? Applicant. Freedom of religion. Question 108. Officer. Who protects the Constitution? Applicant. Everyone who takes the oath of allegiance. Question 109. Officer. What is one responsibility of a United States citizen after turning 18? Applicant. Register to vote if eligible. Question 110. Officer. Why is voting important in a democracy? Applicant. It allows citizens to choose their representatives. Question 111. Officer. What are two rights in the Declaration of Independence? Applicant. Life and liberty. Question 112. Officer. Why did the Founding Fathers write the Constitution? Applicant. To establish the government of the United States. Question 113. Officer. Name one writer of the Federalist Papers. Applicant. James Madison. Question 114. Officer. Why were the Federalist Papers important? Applicant. They helped people understand and support the Constitution. Question 115. Officer. What does the 10th Amendment say? Applicant. Powers not given to the federal government belong to the states or to the people. Question 116. Officer. What amendment abolished slavery? Applicant. The 13th Amendment. Question 117. Officer. What amendment guarantees citizenship to people born in the United States? Applicant. The 14th Amendment. Question 118. Officer. What amendment gave women the right to vote? Applicant. The 19th Amendment. Question 119. Officer. What amendment limits the president to 2 terms? Applicant. The 22nd Amendment. Question 120. Officer. Why do Supreme Court justices serve for life? Applicant. To remain independent from political pressure. Question 121. Officer. Who appoints Supreme Court justices? Applicant. The President. Question 122. Officer. Who confirms Supreme Court justices? Applicant. The Senate. Question 123. Officer. What is one responsibility of the judicial branch? Applicant. To interpret the laws. Question 124. Officer. What is one responsibility of the legislative branch? Applicant. To make federal laws. Question 125. Officer. What is one responsibility of the executive branch? Applicant. To enforce federal laws. Question 126. Officer. What does the Pledge of Allegiance show? Applicant. Loyalty to the United States. Question 127. Officer. Why is the American flag an important national symbol? Applicant. It represents the United States and the values of freedom and unity. Question 128. Officer. Why do many lawful permanent residents choose to become United States citizens? Applicant. To enjoy the full rights and responsibilities of United States citizenship. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest U.S. Citizenship Test practice and updates. Join our WhatsApp group, the link is given in description. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.